As I stepped onto the deck of the Titanic II, my heart raced with excitement at the prospect of traveling back in time to experience one of history's most iconic voyages. But little did I know I would soon be facing unimaginable terror as I discovered the true nature of those on board. The luxurious ship gleamed in the sunlight as we set sail from Southampton Port towards New York City. The hustle and bustle of eager tourists filled the air as we made our way through security checkpoints and embarkation procedures. Excitement for the journey ahead was palpable among everyone present. As I settled into my stateroom, my nerves began to settle, but I couldn't shake the feeling of unease that seemed to grow inside me. Maybe it had something to do with the eerie silence that hung over the corridors like a shroud. Where were all the other passengers? Were they hiding out, waiting to make their move once night fell? My mind drifted to the legendary stories of how the original arms Titanic met its fate. Many claimed that it had been hit by an iceberg, causing catastrophic damage, which led to the deaths of over 1,500 people. Others believed there may have been foul play involved, perhaps even dark magic that caused the ship's demise. Whatever the case, rumors of curses and supernatural phenomena surrounding the Titanic were rife amongst conspiracy circles. Little did I suspect then that I was about to face a far greater danger than any mere iceberg could ever pose. It wasn't until midnight, just as the moon rose above the horizon, that I noticed peculiar behavior from some of the staff members aboard. They seemed agitated, restless, almost frantic. Was it just exhaustion from working such long hours, or was there more to it? As I stumbled upon them in secret conference near the cargo hold, everything clicked into place. These weren't ordinary employees. Each of them wore a pentagram around their necks, chanting in low whispers while performing incantations. Their faces contorted into grotesque expressions of ecstasy as though possessed by some otherworldly force. My mind reeled as I struggled against his grip, trying to break free of his grasp. The maniacal grin on his face sent chills down my spine as he revealed his sharp fangs, dripping with saliva. "You're mine now," he snarled before plunging his teeth deep into my neck, tearing apart arteries as the sweet taste of blood filled his mouth. A scream tore itself from my throat as pain seared throughout my throat, as pain seared throughout my body, forcing me to succumb to the darkness closing in around me. My eyes rolled back as consciousness slipped away, leaving me at the mercy of whatever malevolent force controlled these vile creatures. Hours passed since I blacked out, and yet somehow I found myself stirring back to life within the confines of a makeshift cell constructed within the depths of the ship's belly. Pain shot through every limb as my eyelids fluttered open, revealing nothing but complete and utter pitch blackness. Fear consumed me as memories of my encounter with the man came flooding back in full clarity. Panicked breaths echoed off walls, making it difficult to discern whether anyone else shared this prison with me. Squinting into the void, I strained to see anything. A faint light blinked rapidly in response, sending hope surging through my veins. Another survivor. Perhaps together we might devise a plan to escape this living hell. "Hello," I called tentatively, my voice hoarse from disuse. "Anyone hear me up here?" A few moments later, footsteps approached, accompanied by the sound of metal scraping against stone floor. A figure emerged from the shadows, illuminated by the soft greenish glow of phosphorescent moss clinging to the rock wall. Recognition washed over me like a tidal wave. Jack Dawson himself stood before me, holding aloft a small lantern to guide us both toward freedom. Glancing him over cautiously, I observed telltale marks on his wrist, indicating recent feedings. My skin crawled as fear mixed with anger. How could someone who'd saved lives on the original Titanic allow themselves to become ensnared by this insidious curse? Our trek through the labyrinthine hallways proved grueling, hampered further by the constant threat of discovery lurking behind every twist and turn. With each step taken, the oppressive weight of anticipating capture grew heavier. At last, after countless minutes spent navigating the treacherous terrain, we stumbled upon a door marked engineering. The click of my lockpick drew attention, causing both Jack and I to flatten ourselves against the bulkhead wall. Panthera vulpina guards shuffled past our position without pausing to investigate the source of the noise. Adrenaline coursed through my system, urging caution as I attempted to pick the next set of locks separating us from potential salvation. Breath released in a sigh of relief when I succeeded opening the final mechanism, allowing us access into the heart of the vessel's power core. Within seconds, I activated critical systems vital to maintaining buoyancy levels necessary for safe passage home. One hand on the controls, I glared at Jack, silently questioning why he allowed himself to fall prey to this monstrous affliction. He hesitated only briefly, offering weak nod acknowledgement, understanding words would not suffice to alleviate concerns surrounding the consequences we faced if discovered too late. Without additional delay, I depressed buttons, triggering the automatic propulsion sequence, propelling us forward as fast as possible for an emergency crash landing amidst the North Atlantic Sea. Through sheer determination alone, the modified engines managed to gain sufficient altitude despite structural integrity issues plaguing the arm's Titanic II. As we continued to climb skyward, I felt a renewed sense of hope. If we could simply reach land, authorities would intercede, providing aid and protection to victims rescued en route. In those fleeting moments, I realized the full extent of human capacity to endure hardship coupled with a desire for self-preservation. And so, in honor of all those lost souls during the original tragedy, I chose to name our impromptu lifeboat Unsinkable Spirits with Renewed Courage, and even as we fled, the thoughts of those left behind haunted me. Each victim consumed by the beasts that once walked among them, or perhaps still did. Despite our rapid departure, I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched, hunted even, by unseen predators waiting for the perfect moment to strike again. As we sailed across the ocean towards civilization, whispers spread about the terrors experienced aboard the newest iteration of the doomed luxury liners. Shaken passengers recounted their encounters with the supernatural entities inhabiting its corridors, while others spoke of mysterious disappearances and strange occurrences beyond explanation. The rumors quickly reached media outlets, sparking a sensationalized firestorm, fueling speculation of paranormal activity abounding the modern marvel. To quell public outrage, Executives from Blue Star Line issued carefully crafted statements assuring travel enthusiasts worldwide, "The safety and satisfaction of our guests are top priorities." However, as more reports surfaced, denials grew increasingly defensive until they altogether halted. It became clear that the truth would eventually surface, unless something drastic transpired. That's precisely what happened one quiet morning, just before dawn. As if conjured forth by some dark arcane magic, a violent squall engulfed the ship, raging with such ferocity it threatened to rip the entire vessel apart. Chaos erupted across the deck as panicking passengers rushed to evacuate any means possible. Amidst the chaos, I knew what had to happen. The cursed legacy of the Titanics must come to an end once and for all. Ignoring pleas for help from terrified vacationers, I raced to the bridge where I confronted Captain Smith. He appeared stricken, as though facing a personal battle between duty and instinct, caught between oblivion and redemption. In a fit of desperate rage, I accused him of conspiring with the forces responsible for engineering the tragic fate of his passengers. With fierce conviction, I offered him one chance to atone for Shasta, warning him of the danger awaiting anyone foolish enough to tempt the fates governing these ill-fated vessels. My outburst seemed to have little effect, as he adamantly refused to alter course, believing any deviation might result in catastrophes worse than already imagined. I knew then, with absolute certainty, that no sane individual would willingly board another ship bound for the cold depths of the abyss. How then could captains persuade throngs of people to embark on journeys fraught with peril? Might there exist a hidden motivator, powerful enough to override natural survival instincts? To find answers, I resolved to delve deeper into the corporations involved with promoting such risky ventures. As I investigated the underbelly of the industry, I encountered evidence pointing toward individuals willing to go to great lengths to secure financial success regardless of the cost in lives and livelihoods. A network of wealthy investors formed a cabal, manipulating events to guarantee maximum profits from their macabre enterprises. They sought nothing less than the exploitation of innocent travelers by playing upon the most primal fears, loss and death. True horror of the situation came to light as I learned how, over time, those same entrepreneurs began to regard their customers as expendable assets, mere statistics meant to pad their own wallet. This revelation drove me to seek ways of exposing the wicked machinery driving these disastrous voyages. By compiling compelling evidence, I hope to bring attention to the obscenely calloused attitudes perpetuated within the cruise line industry. Only by drawing global scrutiny to the matter might humankind stand witness to justice served against those who showed utter disregard for life itself. Thus, my tireless campaign to raise awareness commenced, fueled by passionate resolve to see the guilty brought to account for their misdeeds. Through my efforts, eyes slowly opened to the sinister realities hiding beneath the glossy advertisements and promises as my message resonated with concerned citizens. Whispers gave way to murmurs which crescendoed into cries demanding change. But those who profited from human suffering were not content to watch their empires crumble without resistance. The shadowy figures retaliated with counterattacks designed to discredit and silence my voice. Nonetheless, the fire of hope ignited amongst countless followers only intensified, inspiring waves of activism aimed squarely at holding the cruise industry accountable. Ultimately, with each passing day, the weight of public opinion shifted ever so slightly closer to justice, pushing the industry's lobbying power backward step by step. Even amidst intense opposition, my unwavering determination to safeguard travelers from harm remained steadfast, driven by memories of loved ones forever denied the opportunity to pursue happiness or fulfillment. In this war of words, victories measured in inches sometimes felt like miles as alliances emerged from unexpected sources. From former employees courageously speaking out to whistleblowers, divulging confidential information, support surged from every direction. The groundswell of solidarity propelled significant changes throughout the sector. Companies now face the harsh consequences of neglecting passenger well-being or flouting safety standards. Passengers themselves took proactive measures, studying nautical regulations and legislative protections to better ensure their own security. Although the fight is far from over, progress has been made and the dream of safe, enjoyable travel shared by millions becomes more attainable with each small victory won. One can't help but wonder whether generations hence, tales of these sacrifices and struggles will serve to reinforce cautionary principles guiding future maritime endeavors. Whether these sagas will be remembered through the lens of triumph or tragedy remains uncertain. For just $3 a month, you can have your name featured in my YouTube videos and descriptions. Not only will you be supporting my channel, but you'll also be immortalized in the credits of my content. If you're looking for something a bit more personalized, consider becoming a $25 a month patron. I'll voice your stories and bring them to life on my channel. Create a special drawing just for you, or even write a unique story tailored to your interests. So don't hesitate. Join my patron community today and help me keep the spooky stories coming. And remember, together we can save each other from the YouTube algorithm. Thank you for your support.